Welcome back to the channel. This is Books Nelson with the At Me Bro Show. And I wanted to get into it with you about this Joe Caldwell. Now, we've heard a lot about him. He's got base 98, which is obviously excellent. It's the #1 base. Pretty much in the game by most people's standard. Base 98 or base weight, which are both very close. Those are like the two best. Maybe base 38 is probably #3 in most people's eyes. But after that, it's a debate. But definitely in the S tier of releases is base 98, which he has, which pretty much automatically makes him good. Like, even if everything about the character is bad, that makes him pretty good. That having been said, he has other things going for him. So let's take a quick look at what he's bringing to the table. So you see here, he has quality driving dunk ratings. No post game whatsoever. Even the post fade is just a 78. His rebounding is actually pretty high, which is great because at 6'5", he's just slightly undersized for his position. And from playing with the card already, I'm going to tell you right away, he's probably not going to play way bigger than 6'5", the way Dwayne Wade does. He does have an 84 block in his favor, but Dwayne Wade has a lot of stats that make him play way bigger than his size. You can't expect that out of every card. Not saying Joe won't do that at all. I'm just saying don't expect that out of Joe. But he does have a 99 speed, 96 lateral quickness. He's looking good across the board as far as that stuff goes. And let's look at these badges real quick. So we see there the Hall of Fame clamps, Hall of Fame chase down. It's going to pair very nicely with a very athletic card who has an 84 block rating. So that's going to be great for him. Pogo sticks also going to be great for him. So this card definitely can play defense. We see there the gold intimidator. And again, honestly, guys, intimidator is such a powerful badge that gold is more than adequate. It really is like even silver intimidator is very, very strong in this game. So it's not as big of a difference as there is between, say, gold clamps and Hall of Fame clamps. It's a difference you can feel. I don't think it makes or breaks a card, but that's a big difference. I think Intimidator, gold Intimidator, you should be 100% fine. We see here with the playmaking badges, he has all of the important ones, Hall of Fame, particularly handles for days, quick first step, dimer, ankle breaker, huge, space creator, tight handle. So he's going to get stun animations if you know how to dribble. So for those of you out there who like to dribble, he's definitely looking good in that regard. So we see with the shooting badges, he has almost every shooting badge that you want, but range extenders gold instead of Hall of Fame. Because he has a 92 with coaching boost 3-point shot, it'll get boosted to a 99. But I will say that it would have been a nice little, cherry on the sundae for him to get the Hall of Fame range extender. But it's really the lack of Deadeye that most people are going to look at. I personally, while Deadeye is a good badge, I don't think it's a make or break badge by any means, particularly if you're able to create good shots, especially when the #1 thing about this card is that he shoots really, really fast. That's the main thing. So if he was a slower shooter like James Harden, Deadeye would be more important. But because he's such a fast shooter, you're most likely going to be wide open when the game is going to think you're wide open when you're taking these shots, because the person playing you just doesn't have the time and the reaction time to close out on you. We see here he has basically every good finishing badge on Hall of Fame. So this card is pretty much a Galaxy Opal by any consideration. So let's look at his animations and see what he's bringing to the table. So we see with the hot zones, he's looking really good across the board with the hot zones. He's missing 2 key ones, but again, with his shot ratings and green window, I don't think that's the biggest deal in the world. Definitely great that he has all of these mid-range hot zones, because it'll be nice for you with these moving shots here. You'll be able to have a nice green window on those moving shots. So I haven't really gotten a great look at his release yet. Haven't found the green window, but it's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy shot. It's a really, really nice shot. You spend 5 seconds with this shot, I'm sure you'll be greening pretty much every time. All right, so let's look at his leaner. We're going to look at his peak. We're going to look at the hezzy. We're going to look at the quick stop and see what his shooting is going to be like functionally in the game. So that's his leaner. Kind of a weird floaty thing he did right there, but it's not the worst thing in the world at all. It should be a serviceable leaning shot. And then we'll look at the Pro Hezzy. Very nice off the Pro Hezzy, very crisp. I would anticipate that this is a very, very reliable green window for him once you get this shot down. So yeah, I would definitely say, and you see there, he goes into that animation very quickly, and it's very, very, very reliable for him. So that's super strong. Peekaboo, very good off the peekaboo, basically identical. So this is one of those cards where it really is up to your playstyle which of these you use, because he's going to be very good in both situations. I would say they're equal options for this card. Some cards a little faster, one or the other, but for him, it's definitely a relative option. And let's see here. And we see there, off of the quick stop, he's also very strong. He's going to go up, did it too fast. He's going to go up right away, help you out there. And yeah, super fast shooter. And yeah, very reliable in that regard. So let's look at these full court dribbles, then we're going to go to the half court dribbles and get you guys out of here. Well, dunks and everything. So the behind the back triggers very quickly with this card. It doesn't move him a great distance, but it has a very short animation time. So that's really good for these half spin combos. When you go into that half spin right there, that's going to slide him forward a little bit. So I would say it's a good behind the back. Maybe A- tier, A tier behind the back. I would say, yeah, A- maybe, which is still pretty good. Definitely not one of the bad ones. Not one of the OP ones like Pro 5, Pro 6, Pro 3, but it is definitely up there. I'm not sure which one it is off the top of my head. Nobody uses this in Park, but it's not terrible. Definitely not terrible. All right, so we're going to look at this crossover. Not great. Crossover behind the back. Also not super great. The crossover behind the back is better than the straight crossover. And this is the between the legs. I think his between the legs is pretty bad. There's a big load up animation before this happens. And I'm not a fan of any animations in this game that have a charge time, basically. It basically has a charge time in this animation. And you cannot cancel this charge time with the half spin either. So to me, this is a completely useless between the legs. And I would stay away from it. All right, so full court dribbles. We're going to look at the Hezi branches real quick. Okay, his Hezi cross is excellent. All right, so that's huge news for him. So he does have a full court crossover, because since his regular crossover and his, yeah, I would say with this card, if you're going down court, there's a little at me bro tip right here. Crossover with the left stick. Just crossover with the left stick or go into a Hezi cross. Don't use his right stick to cross over. Use the right stick for the behind the back, or basically not at all. But outside of that, the right stick is not helping you out a whole lot in the full court. We're gonna look at one more thing here. Okay, yeah, and yeah, his right stick is not reliable at all in the full court. The crossover just sends him too wide, makes him too unpredictable. It will put you into traffic, in my opinion. So I don't think that's a super strong dribble. But his behind the back is very good, so it's not like he has nothing. He's good to go with the behind the back. Just make sure you're using that left stick to direct him. Oh yeah, let's look at the in and out too. He did a Hezi for some reason. I was definitely holding turbo. It's because he doesn't like me. He doesn't like my videos. All right, and his in and out's very good as well. So when you're coming up court, definitely lean on the in and out, lean on the behind the back, and he does have some full court juice to keep him going. He didn't completely strike out on animations, but definitely running full court is not going to be his forte the way it would be with, I guess, the extreme version would be Magic Johnson, who can just kind of slide up court, full court. It's not going to be Joe's game. All right, now in the half court, Joe's going to excel. He basically he's like Westbrook, but with a better hesitation, right? So he has the Pro 3 Hezi, so he's good to go in that regard, which means he can side switch very quickly, which is great for him, obviously. And also, if you're doing this Pro Hezi around the perimeter, you can obviously go straight into your jumper off of that very quickly. It's going to be super good for him. So he's got that wonderful mix-up. He also has this gorgeous step back as well. And he has the, I believe, the Pro 2 size-up package. So that means he can do the killer crossover and all of that other good stuff. I'll do a quick sample of that. Very quick off the dribble. Cook somebody really bad with that with the Park this weekend. It's such a gorgeous move. And the nice thing is when you have this, you see I did it right there. If you guys know how to do any of the misdirection stuff, this step back is a really, really great move for creating space. You get into any speed boost animation, and he's going to step back right there. Works against the human, works against the CPU. Very, very strong option. So obviously, when it comes to any other misdirection, he's going to be able to misdirect very effectively. He's got really fast size-ups, so he's just good to go as a dribbler. To give you a quick look at his momentum dribble, it's nothing special. I mean, it's just a standard, momentum. He doesn't have like a crazy one or anything like that, so he's good to go as far as that regard. See his momentum behind the back. He's kind of swift out of it. It's definitely usable. See his behind the back, looking good in that. And because he has the Pro 2 animation package, he has all of the really silly combos out of that. That works really well if somebody's guarding you on ball. That's his half spin look, which I've done a couple of times, but while we're doing the dribbles, give you a look at that. And let's see, let's look at his snatch into his step back. We see there, it's pretty good. It's not as good as the other one out of the step back, but it's still very strong. The main thing about this step back is it combos off of every other dribble way better. Like no matter what dribble you're doing, that step back's gonna combo off of it and really give you the ability to create space and create an angle against your opponent. And when you combine that with the ability to have that base 98 shot, it really is a nice combo of moves to have together. And that's the one thing I would actually say he has over Dwayne Wade and Westbrook, and he's kind of like a combo of those two characters in a certain regard, is he has the faster shot that over Westbrook, and he has a Pro 3 hezzy over Westbrook, but he has a better step back than Dwayne Wade, which is the one thing that's really missing from that character. So I'm not saying he's better than Wade. Wade has a lot of other things going for him, including one of the best overall finishing packages in the game. But understand when if you use this card, he's very cheap. If you don't love your shooting guard, I would definitely automatically say get a look at this card because he's very, very strong for his price. He's way better than, I would say, every other card in his price range. I mean, outside of Diamond Dwayne Wade, I don't know any other card that even competes with this off the top of my head. Maybe Spreewell in the token market also feels really good. But yeah, this guy is definitely up there. I mean, I think he's playable on a meta squad for sure. He's better than a lot of cards in the game. And outside of the fact that his full court dribbles aren't great, other than that, I mean, he really has every other tool, almost every other tool in the book. All right, so let's get to that. So first things first, let's look at this triple threat. Pretty quick out of the triple threat, same side. We're going to look at the other side as well. Don't grab that ball. Dang it. I didn't ask for that. All right. Triple threat the other way is actually pretty good. Get rid of that. Triple threat hezzy, looking really good. Again, if you're behind the screen and you do that triple threat hezzy, that's a really easy, cheap way to score. Like believe me, it creates a little more space than you think because people are waiting for you to try to burst or peekaboo or something like that. And sometimes that little move right there is more effective than you think it is. And because of his dribbles, he can explode out of that as well. And he can step back out of that also. So take a quick look at that. Show you just how versatile his step back is. And after I mean, there's a little delay on that, so you want to be careful with that. But let's look at the rest of this. So out of the spin, he's not very strong. So he's pretty weak out of that jab step spin. I don't know what triple threat package this is, but that is unfortunate for him because that's a very strong move. I mean, I wouldn't call it weak, but it's definitely not the best of the best. But triple threat, I would probably give him a B+, solid out of the triple threat. Definitely not bad. Definitely not as much of a go-to move as it is for some of the characters, like your Jimmy Butlers and stuff. Is the guy I always compare it to. I think he's S-class in that regard. But yeah, triple threat, definitely solid. All right. And we took one more look at the burst out of triple threat. Yeah, he's looking good. We see here he has a very nice dunk package. I literally have not seen a bad dunk on this character yet. And so we're going to start looking for those now. So first, let's look at his hop dunks. So he has a lot of really good glitchy hop dunks. So I would definitely consider him an A-tier hop dunker. Yeah, I would consider him an A-tier hop dunker based on what I've seen. He can hop dunk from very far away, and some of them are like really, there you go. That's like a really good one. I would say at worst, he's an A- tier hop dunker. He's not, nobody's Giannis, but he's, as for a guard, he's pretty solid when it comes to the hop dunks. Get another look, different angle. So he's definitely a guy that you want to use for hop dunk finishes because of this reason. So he does not appear to have, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, he doesn't have baseline reverse dunks. He doesn't have that package, which is the cheesiest dunk package in the game. So if you're on the baseline and the reverse looks like it might be contested, you have the option to hop dunk. There you go. That's one of those glitchy hop dunks I was talking about. You have the option to hop dunk from really far away. So he should be a very good finisher, but I would not put him in the category of Wade or Westbrook as a finisher based on what I'm seeing from the animations here. Now, maybe if you play the card, you'll find it to be better as a finisher in game, but based on what I'm seeing from the packages here, he looks like he's an inferior finisher to both Westbrook and Wade, who are, along with John Wall, probably the three best small finishers in the game. They can finish over basically anybody. Like, their height is not a problem at all. I don't know if I would consider that with this card. It just goes back to what I was saying about Is this card going to play bigger than 6'5"? I don't think you need to play bigger than 6'5", especially considering he's going to be able to guard anybody at the 2-guard position. So it's not like, so, you know, you play a big point guard at the 1 like Hito or LeBron or something like that, you can put this guy on the 2-guard and he should be fine. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it for that stuff. So we're going to look at his dunk packages, look at his layup packages, and then get you guys out of here. So, oh, I do not like that layup one little bit. I kind of hate that. So I'm going to avoid that at all costs. Oh, yeah. So some people really like this layup package. I personally do not. Let's see his cradles. Yeah, so this is that. So I think SPAC really likes this layup package. So that's the cradle right there. Yeah, I would want to avoid that other layup at all costs because it can get you blocked. But the cradle is kind of slow too. So I'm going to definitely say this is a taste thing. I do not like these layups. These layups to me are too slow. They get you blocked. I prefer layups that are fast, put the ball out in front of you like that. But because you can just randomly trigger that bad layup, that one right there, I think it can work, but it can also get you in trouble. So I'm going to say he's a no-go with the layups, but that's okay because he has an extremely high dunk rating. And there you see, excellent right-handed dunk. That is an S-tier strong hand dunk right there. So I love that. All right, now we're going to look at, we'll look at one more right-handed dunk. Let's check out the dunk radius. He has maximum dunk radius, it appears. And if not maximum, very close to it, which isn't super common amongst 6'5". Yeah, he has maximum dunk radius, so you can dunk from as far as possible. Let's see here. We look at his switch hands. So there's a gather on his switch hand dunk, so I'd probably stay away from that. It's not that it's bad, but it's definitely not as good as his other stuff. See, it's flashy. And he's got a nice reverse flashy dunk where actually I like that dunk because the ball moves a lot. So it's going to be hard to block. And he doesn't change his momentum. Even though it's a 2-footed dunk, he doesn't take a long time with that 2-footed gather. So I would highly recommend finishing with a dunk with this character with a strong hand first, maybe flashy second. Let's look at his two-handed dunk. He might have a 2-footed dunk here. No, his two-handed dunk is awesome. Nice gorilla dunk. So I would say if they're in front of you, his two-handed dunk is going to be S tier. If they're behind you, you're going to want to finish with the right hand. Just to give yourself as little chance as possible of getting the back scratcher blocks happening to you. But overall, I would say this guy is a very high-level dunker, maybe A tier, A- at worst tier of a dunker because he's got good hop dunks. So on the plus side, he's got great hop dunks. He's got great strong hand dunks, which is always fantastic because you ideally would love to have good strong hand dunks. He's got a great flashy, great two-handed dunk. A little bit weak switching hands. You know, with the dunk, you see that he gave me a layup package when he went to switch hands with the dunk. So I would say the switch hand dunks, as in ball in your right hand, going to the left hand or vice versa. Probably want to stay away from that. He doesn't have baseline reverses, so that's a big negative as well. But outside of that, everything else about his dunks are great. And the main thing is he doesn't have any dunks that you really have to avoid. Even his worst dunks are solid. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the character. I think this is a very strong card, especially in his price range. He should perform very well. He's got Pro 3 Hezi. He's got the Elite Step Back. He's got the, the Pro 2 Size Up that allows you to, kill across if you know how to do that stuff. And the main thing is it gives you very quick size up dribbles off the standstill. So you see that between the legs is very quick. It gives you that kind of teleport, change direction as well. So from a standstill, all you got to do is tap the ball between the legs and you're good to go for a misdirection. You're good to go for, an explosion out of the dribble. So nice, quick between the legs. He doesn't load up that between the legs. So that's another advantage he has over Dwayne Wade, who has a very slow between the legs dribble. It just takes a long time to start up. So this character is just in the half court. He should be a very good creator for you in the half court. In the full court, you might want to have somebody else bring the ball up if you're looking to rim run, if you're looking at a deep hash or whatever, that kind of stuff. There are other cards who are going to be better at that. However, in terms of catching and shooting, he's going to be elite at that to combine with those other cards because he has that really, really quick release. Nice size green window. Overall, really strong. All right, so that's going to do it for my Joe Caldwell deep dive. I hope this gave you guys the information to know if you want to plunk down I believe I paid 23 for this card. I saw one for 22. I just paid the 23. I wanted to get it quick. I didn't feel like competing with people in snipe filters. I just wanted to get this video out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Always appreciate your support. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.